as well. But now to introduce the 2009 World Drivers' Champion, currently driving for Vodafone McLaren Formula 1, ladies and gentlemen, Jenson Button. Afternoon to you, Jenson. The weather has relented, thankfully.
Oh, it's beautiful out there, isn't it?
Yeah, thankfully it's dry anyway. You've, of course, raced in these kind of events before. Tell us what it's like to just kind of step away from racing in Formula 1 and racing around street circuits.
First of all, good morning, everyone. It's good to see so many people here on not such a nice day. These events are great because, you know, for us, over a Grand Prix weekend, we're obviously fully focused on the job in hand. And you know, it's a serious job, but when we come to this sort of event, it's a lot more fun, and we can relax, we can have a little bit of fun with the car, which you wouldn't normally be able to do at a race weekend, as in terms of, you know, burnouts and making a bit of noise for the fans. And I think it's a great event for, you know, for people to get close to the action. I normally can't do that at a Grand Prix, or it's at a reasonably high cost. But here it's you know, it's great because they can see the cars, they can hear the cars, and almost touch the cars. So it's a great event, and I hope that we get a big crowd today. Obviously, it's with the rain. It's you know, hopefully it won't limit the numbers of people that come out and see us today, because I think they'll get a real surprise of the. Especially with the Formula 1 car, the noise of the Formula 1 car, especially in a city, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, if people haven't experienced that before, in a city with the corridors of buildings, it's going to be very noisy.
Buildings, exactly, it's great.
A different mindset for you, I suppose, with the weather conditions being a little bit wet today.
Yeah, when it's dry, you can do burnouts, and we all like a bit of smoke, and it's something that we don't ever get to do, you know, when we're at a race weekend. But yeah, today I'll be taking it a lot easier than normal because of the wet conditions. It's, you know, it's more about the spectacle, I think, of the noise and the you know, seeing the car itself rather than top speeds and things like that. And it's you know, you've got to be very careful on a street that's not made for a Formula 1 car, and also, you know, with the barriers the way they are. So, you know, it's more of a show than trying to prove and show what a Formula 1 car can do. It's about just, you know, putting it out there and for people to get close to the action.
It's been wet in Moscow, in the places you've done before, so I suppose you get used to racing around like that. What was it like actually racing around Moscow? That does mean a kind of unique experience for you.
Yeah, Moscow was very wide in places, so, you know, you could do a lot of donuts and things like that. But you know, I think these events are great because it also gets a lot more interest in the sport. I mean, Formula 1's pretty big as it is, but you know, we're trying to reach out to as many people as possible, and to get more people interested in for me, obviously the best sport in the world.
You have a heritage, of course, in motor racing. You've come up to Formula 4. I remember watching you win the Formula Ford Festival of Brands Hatchback in 1998 with Dan Weldon and Marcus Ambrose. Fantastic final. You remember late Neil Shannon? He was racing back then. He's dead now, 13 years, but there was a potential. But you know a lot of Irish motor racing drivers who've come up in the past as well.
Yeah, and I raced in, I think it was the Cork area, in when I think I was 10 years old in go-karting. Yeah, and the actual circuit was through a golf course.
I think that was Watergrass Hill.
Okay, yeah. And I just thought it was amazing because everyone raced and then went and had a pint after. I thought that was amazing because there was a pub right on the corner of the circuit. That was a great experience. I really enjoyed that, but that was a long time ago now.
Yeah. So, any questions on the floor? Anybody like to ask a question? Yeah.
Hi Jenson, considering it's Jubilee weekend, do you think of inviting the Queen over and have her write a Hillian maybe?
I think she's busy enough this weekend. But no, there's obviously a lot going on in the UK, but you know, this is our event, and I'm looking forward to it. And the great thing is, there's a lot of cars here. It's not just an F1 car. There's lots of things for people to see and do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Hi Jenson, could I ask you just about this season so far? You were saying recently in an interview that your qualifying too hasn't been great, particularly in Monaco. You won last year in Canada. How can you improve in that area?
Well, I started the season off pretty good with a win in Australia, and a couple of other really good results in qualifying and also in the race. But the last two races have been very tricky in terms of getting the tyres working. I mean, we talk about the tyres a lot, but they're very important. They're the four things that are touching the ground. And yeah, I found it very difficult to get them working in the right manner. So hopefully we'll solve those issues in Canada. I think we have made some good steps in the right direction. You know, qualifying is not so important in Canada, but still we want to be on the front row always. Whereas Monaco, it's everything, and it made it for a very difficult race for me last weekend. But being positive, you know, I think we're excited about Canada. For me, it was probably one of the best races of my career last year. Very exciting race, and it looks like the weather conditions are going to be very similar as well. You know, wet, dry conditions, and I like those conditions.
Ray?
Jenson Button from Dublin. I was just speaking of Canada. I understand the car you're driving today is the car you drove in Canada, according to the team. You mentioned the weather. What do you guys have planned for today in the streets of Dublin, and what has changed in terms of what the fans will see?
Yes, so I'm driving last year's car today, and it is the car that I won in Canada with. I also drove it in Hungary a few weeks ago, doing another demo. But you know, with a Formula One car on the streets here, you know, basically you raise the car a lot because of the bumpiness of the streets, and also there's a lot of fans on the car to keep it cool, because it's very easy to overheat, especially when you're doing burnouts and things like that. So those are the main things that you'll do to an F1 car so that it can ride the streets of Dublin.
You should still be giving it a fair whack, shall I say, around the streets for people to see.
Yeah, of course, but you know, you got to be careful because there's no tyre temperature either, and you can't really get any good speed. So we'll be cautious, but we'll still put on a good show.
All right, thanks for your questions, folks. Jenson's got to get to the car now and get settled, get sorted. Listen, have a great day. It's great to see you here. Ladies and gentlemen, Jenson Button.
Thank you. Cheers.
As if you're going to open it there, as if it's your car.
Come on, PJ, give me a thumbs up. PJ, give me a thumbs up.
Break the window.
Thank you.
No worries.